He'll never ever beat Stanford. He's from Blythe. He'll never ever beat Stanford. He's from Blythe. He's from Blythe. He'll never ever beat Stanford. He's from Blythe. He'll never ever beat Stanford. He's from Blythe. The gift that keeps on giving.
I can't help it every time, my host. I can't help but play that other Shah song. Well, afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us on The Insiders. This is not Chris. I don't look anything like him or sound like him. So thanks for coming. This was going to be a press conference reaction, but there's not one. So I think they would have done that straight after the game. They normally do an embargoed one that kind of they do two at the same time, and it just comes out later on. So Eddie Howe's probably already done it after the game on Saturday. That's not how you normally do it, so we'll see. I don't think there's any plan for today, so I don't think we all know where we are.
I've looked all over. Yeah. Paul, and I can't see it scheduled anywhere.
The usual, guys. So thanks for coming. So the obvious like or unlike. If you don't like it, that's fine. It all helps the metric.
Smash that like.
Smash the like button or the unlike button, whichever one is fine. It gets us traction out there. If you want to win prizes every month, become a member. One of our lucky winners, when it's not bank holiday, I'm going to send this in the post to our lovely winner yesterday. So in the post, that'll be going tomorrow. We've got the Andy Cole shirt next month, I think. I got Andy Cole to sign one of my shirts, which is going to be a big good giveaway. So become a member; it's worth it. We're growing and growing. We really appreciate all of you. So we said subscribe, do all that lovely stuff. If you want to give us a super chat, that's absolutely fine. It goes to Wynn's Wardens to keep him up and healthy, and give him his tablets in the morning. So he needs the money. So give him the money.
That's it.
But yeah, so
keep the insults coming, folks. Keep the insults coming.
So we're just going to talk through some of the stuff we've already covered, I know, but we'll go over some of the obvious stuff, like injuries and that sort of stuff. And there was a ref watch this morning that me and Wynn watched, which was interesting because they were actually in favour of Newcastle for once, which was interesting.
For once, yeah. Every decision.
And then there's been...
except the share on the ground one. When Rob Jones allowed the free kick to be taken that they got a second goal from.
And there's been some. It's after midday now, so the Easter Fool, the April Fool's things have to stop now. People selling Bruno this morning I saw on Twitter. People saying Steve Bruce is going to come back. It's manager. I saw. Bring in DX. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, not too bad. A little bit of a cold, but I'm all good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, not too
bad.
Not bad. What's your best day before you've seen today, Newcastle-wise? Mine was the Bruno being sold.
Oh, man. Well, I think there's been a couple, haven't there? There's one about Steve Bruce, I think.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Steve Bruce taking over from Southgate?
Yeah.
No, okay, that would be quite cool. Fun 88 Sunderland, surely that.
That's brilliant. That's great. Yeah,
that's a believable April Fools.
They're gonna sponsor their shirt, which I thought's pretty funny. They'll be foaming over that because
a few
can't take an old joke in our compatriots down the end there, especially when it's at their expense. But yeah, so let's get into the injuries first because Wynn's got a list of kind of like percentages and stuff. We're kind of looking. The obvious ones we know about the ones that are long term. So we know Botman's out until who knows, 9 months.
January 25, according to this. Lascelles January 25. Tonali Wanu August 24. Lewis Miley 19th of May 24. Lewis has come back from England with a back problem. We are seeking a specialist opinion on him. Good old specialists. We love specialists.
Never specialists.
We don't know exactly what is right now.
Oh my God!
You couldn't make it up.
Say that.
Callum Wilson. It's a really strange injury. A tussle right at the end of the game. Initially, we thought it was his shoulder, but it's his pectoral muscle. He went to see a specialist and is having it operated on as we speak.
Is there any date
So
for
that? That was on February the 16th, and the due date back for him is the 11th of May.
Oh, when does the season end? What's the final date of the season?
It will be the 18th of May, I believe. Our last.
Oh, right. So we
think
might get one game.
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Have a quick look somewhere.
And Miley's due back on the 19th of May.
Miley due on the 19th of May, yeah.
The day after the season ends.
Bye, Miley. Thanks for coming, buddy.
Yeah, so it would appear. Joey Linton, Newcastle confirms Joey Linton has successfully undergone surgery on a thigh injury sustained earlier this month. The midfielder will now commence a period of rehab and is expected to return to action in May. And that's the 11th of May, the same day as Callum Wilson. So maybe the last 2 games, who knows? But as was said last week, there's someone one of the King of Qatar's, Roy's pals, had seen Joey Linton jogging about. So that augured well. Nick Pope, shoulder injury. April is his target, I think. That will be more towards the end of the month than the beginning.
Yeah.
But he's making good, solid progress. He's out on the grass, but not necessarily diving. Great news for a keeper, eh?
Yeah.
But
doesn't need to dive without defense.
That will be a big test for his shoulder, and it's the next stage. Wow.
Right.
No shit, Sherlock. That's so he's due back on the 27th of April. Gordon suspended until the 6th of April, obviously, for his little shenanigans. Trippier, this is the interesting one, of course. A minor injury, but the scan showed enough to probably keep him out for the next 2 games. Hopefully, he'll be back for the first game after the break. But that's not absolutely guaranteed.
Oh,
I mean, how vague can you get?
The master is saying nothing.
Yeah.
Probably, hopefully,
yeah,
not absolutely guaranteed.
Do you remember the press conference in America when Harvey Barnes was obviously on the plane already? And they were asking him about Harvey Barnes.
Signing him.
We haven't signed Harvey Barnes. I know what you're talking about. He got announced the same day.
God.
He's just got off the plane, Eddie. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Livermento, no return date. Yeah. I think the ball hit Tino's ankle, so it's an ankle twist. Mickey Almiron. Mickey hurt his knee crossing a ball.
He's not used to it, that's why.
Yeah, stop doing it, Miggy. What are you doing?
No return date. And Matt Target, Achilles tendonitis, no return date.
Unbelievable.
So they are all 25%. That's Tino, Miggy, and Matt Target are 25% possible for tomorrow.
25.
Trippier 75%. So I think it's probable that we'll see Trips.
So Kraft is fit then.
Kraft's not on the list.
Oh, okay, well maybe that's Kraft at right back, Hall at left back then.
Yeah,
that could be the solution.
Unless Trips is fine, I guess.
Yeah.
That's going to be
I think if Trips is anywhere near, I think he'll walk in. Which should he be walking in if he's not like 100% fit?
We've been here before, haven't we? Where if he's even half ready,
that's the point I'm making.
He'll be missed. Just to answer AG's question, we are doing a watch along tomorrow. Yes, so 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. UK time will begin live with like the reaction to the starting 11 and all that. Chris has promised to be on time for that. Or if not, we can go live at 7 and go for the 11. 7:30 for the watch along, so it's kick off 7:30 in the UK. Then we'll obviously, when we finish that, we'll break and go straight into a match reaction whether it be 5 minutes after that or straight after. We haven't planned that 100%, but something like that. So we'll get there.
Just to get from the match.
Yeah, but thank you for the support, because the you guys have made it so much. We were wondering whether to do watch longs, and the numbers were really cool, and that's thanks to you guys. So really do appreciate you watching us, because there's a lot of channels out there that do them, and there's a lot of competition. And thankfully you guys kind of came in your floods and came to watch us, so it was very much appreciated. So yeah, let's keep that up, because we're doing all right over here. We're getting there. We've got Roy telling people to hoof it and stuff, and me running off in the corner when we're scoring goals. So it's all worth it. Second goal was dubious, wasn't it? Well, it wasn't for me. The second goal for West Ham. It's one of those where Shah, yes, has been flicked in the face, and I do understand the rule of if it's a head injury, you have to stop the play. But we all know he was play acting. We all know it wasn't a serious head injury. And I think personally the ref has caught him and thought, well, I'm not going to give you that. And thought, I'm not stopping the game because it's not a genuine injury. I don't know, what do you guys think?
It depends, doesn't it? If it's a blanket rule, head injuries mean that you have to stop the game, then I suppose you had to. But from what I've heard since, that's not the actual rule. The rule is the discretion of the referee.
Right.
And he obviously, like you said, just thought, no, there was minimal contact. He's overacting here. And he was overacting. I mean, he was laying down, rolling around. Yeah. He did get clipped in the face, but it was, in a way, you sort of think justice was done.
A little flick, it was nothing.
It wasn't. If it had been in his eye or something, could have said, yeah, that guy's. But it was sort of like that, wasn't it? That kind of thing.
It was nothing.
Yeah.
But I still think he should have been allowed to get up. But that's just because I'm biased.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm trying to be like down the middle. I mean, some guy didn't like me for it yesterday, but I don't care. I'm trying to be balanced. I do obviously have black and white tinted glasses, but I try and see in a game objectively sometimes. And I think that if a West Ham player did that to us and we scored from that, I'd be chuffed. I'd be happy with us taking advantage of one of them being being like that, and I'd be like, well, we did what we should do. Do you remember the John Joe Shelby one against Sheffield?
I was going to say, we actually have done that before.
Yeah, so we can be a bit silly as well, and that's fine. I don't care.
That was on offside though, wasn't it? The Shelby one.
Yeah. And I remember that because Chris Wilder was going absolutely nuts, wasn't he?
Yeah. And the goalkeeper just stood there going like that.
Yeah,
didn't try and save it.
When is how and the medical staff going to tell us the true extent of the injuries is doing my head. I mean, look, Newcastle United's official account did come out this morning. I put, is it an April Fool's? Because they said they're going to do a full investigation or whatever you want to call it into the medical side of things. I mean, it is needed. I mean, you can't look at the season and not think that something's gone wrong, because it has. Some have been unlucky. I'm not saying all of them are the medical team's fault. I mean, Dan Burner's luck. It's just bad luck. He's fallen on his back. Jacob Murphy, the first time, is bad luck with his arm coming out. I think the recurrence of it wasn't bad luck. I think that's bad management. Joe Linton, that's bad management in my opinion, because he was injured. He came back too quick. And in one game, it was within a minute, and he was already back off.
Yeah.
There has been some mismanagement.
And that originated, of course, at Sunderland. When he should have been, you could say he was hobbling 15 minutes before half time, and fair enough, 5 minutes before half time, and they took him off, hopefully, to get him to see how he was. But how could he suddenly, within 5 minutes of coming back on for the second half, get worse? If they hadn't done proper checks at half time. And so he brings them off when we get the second goal, and it was too late.
Yeah, and it's a concurrent thing. It's the Gordon. Yeah. Gordon, when he was clearly injured, and he was no, I'm fine. It's just again like if you ask a player, they're going to tell you they're fine. Of course they are. You have to kind of take that away from them. Like, if you're a medical professional, it's like, mate, no, you're coming off. Like, if you're going to be angry, fine, but you are coming off. Like, you're risking more time away from the pitch. So if you want to keep playing, you got to come off, mate. And it's this bizarre thing that we've let Botman kind of decide for himself. Jamal Lascelles said, "Oh no, I'm fine to come back on the pitch," and wasn't. You should never have gone back on that pitch.
No.
Gordon shouldn't have been given the chance. Botman shouldn't have come off. Should have come off when he originally hurt his knee, and he's still hobbling, and everyone was screaming at him.
I'm just looking at Punt Mag's comment here. He says, "I'm proper rage about Lascelles' situation. Great servant, but we're flicked off Besiktas in January. Now we're paying him £2 million while he recovers for the next 9 months, and he's a free agent."
Yeah. It's frustrating, but we could never have known that was going to happen, could we?
No. It's just circumstance. It's just typical of the bad luck that's plagued Newcastle this season, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
As we say, you can say bad luck or bad management one way or the other. Some of it's bad luck, definitely.
Yeah.
Truls
has said he watched the highlights. Can't understand why people are saying the penalty wasn't for the second. I mean, look, I agree, mate. I know it's one of those where Gordon's been smart. He's been smart. Yeah. He's put his foot in the way, and he knows he's going to get contact. But like I was saying to Wim before we went live, Rashford dives and gets everything he wants. Jota, absolutely ridiculous decision to give him a penalty when he dived over Dubravka. They gave those, and I'm sorry, like, West Ham fans can be salty all they want. It's a penalty. Because I tell you what now, if that was Paqueta in our box and he did that, and he got a penalty, would they be moaning? Absolutely not. Come on. You got to be again 50-50. If that was given against Newcastle, I'd be annoyed. But again, I'd be like, well, if we had it, I'd love it. You have to be objective when it comes to these things. So I agree with you.
But again, as we were talking about earlier on, it boils my what that forever people. Oh, it evens itself out over the course of the season. It even and does it buggery. You might get 10 decisions that you shouldn't get, and don't get 10 decisions that you should get over the course of a season. But it's when those decisions actually happen that make the difference. The difference between going 1-0 up in a tight game and not getting the decision, and then getting the decision when you're already 4-1 up. They do not balance out in that respect. Every game is different.
Yeah,
and the circumstances surrounding when that bad decision occurs, and I accept, of course, that they go both ways, but that doesn't prevent me feeling well pissed off when things go against us at a critical time, and it happened. It seemed to happen so often to us.
Yeah,
I suppose every fan of every club will say the same thing.
Well, it's happened in crucial moments for us, hasn't it? Like with the PSG penalty and things like that. It seems to have happened at really key times.
Yeah.
And that's what's hurt us. If it had just been when we're 3-0 up against Fulham and they get a penalty, you go, okay.
It's kind of like, Yeah, Lewis, mate, absolutely. Send our best wishes to the Arsenal woman player who collapsed on the pitch.
Oh, God.
Did hear about that. Obviously, Newcastle did get the win. They're 1 win away from promotion, so well done to the lasses. But yeah, we do obviously hope she's done well. It's becoming a common problem in football with people collapsing. It's a difficult one. Being a medical professional myself, it's your worst nightmare. I've had to do CPR 500 times in my career, probably more. And some people come through and some people don't, and it's just a tough one. So obviously all the best to her, and hope she recovers very quickly. Where's Chris? He's gallivanting. He's working. He's got her money now. The baby's here.
He's got a proper job as well.
He's got that until all that sweet super chat money comes in. He's got to stick at work. So feel free to give us a couple of million, and then we can just veg off of.
We can all
off of
retire and do this
yeah,
full
he's
time.
just mentioned for YouTube for the rest of that time.
Wouldn't that be utopia?
Jules hopes that Dan Burn plays at left centre back and Lewis Hall comes in at left back.
Yeah,
Don't want to see Dummett. Well, what do you guys think about that?
yeah. I think that's how he's got to line up now. If he picks Dummett ahead of Lewis Hall, then I think I'm gonna jump out the window. I just don't think I can can't put up with that anymore. So he's got to. I think Hall, Burn, Shah, and right back. We don't know yet, but we'll see. But I think that's got to be the three of the back four.
Win would reckon. I mean, we all know your love for Dan Burn.
I think Dummett will do a job for us. You know, he's not world class. We know he's not world class, but he definitely do a job. He's never let us down in the last couple of seasons when he's been called upon, which hasn't been very often. But no, I think he'll do a job if he has to. But I mean, at the minute we've got Burns and Shea, so that's a good pairing as far as I'm concerned.
So would you pick Hall over Dummett?
For left back?
Yeah, for left back, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
No competition.
I was going to say, Win, we could have got into a big fight there.
Yeah, he should have said yes.
No. I think Dummett's days as left back, unless we're in proper dire straits, are over. No, I think he's a much better centre back now than he is a left back.
I mean, we're going to get into more at 10 p.m. tonight. I don't want to ruin too much of later on, but do you think Eddie will probably start with the same 11 that finished the game?
You know, I don't think I think he might.
Close.
Well, having said that, I said prior to the West Ham game that he might put Anderson in for Longstaff, and I thought Anderson was superb when he came on. Absolutely superb. He was putting the foot in all over the place and carrying the ball, playing like Willock used to play. To tell you the truth,
Do you think he should replace him?
He's looked poor. I mean, you were making the point when you chose Willock as your potential man of the match.
Because he has these games anonymous. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he has the anonymous games and then has a blinder. So hopefully that might come on Tuesday. Who knows?
Yeah, please, Willock, give me a break, mate. Would you guys give Alex Murphy a chance?
I like Alex Murphy.
I wouldn't give him I wouldn't put him in if we didn't have to.
Okay.
But again, I wouldn't be. But this is based. The only stuff I've seen of Murphy was pre-season this season in America, and he did okay for me.
We played a little bit in the Salah Cup as well. That I saw.
Yeah, we've got two young.
Yeah. Sorry, you did.
We've got Heffernan as well, who's supposed to be very good, and he's 18.
Yeah.
I would like. Yeah, it'd be nice to see them on the bench, but I think we've got to start with. I mean, Hall's only 19, but we've got to start with the slightly more first team looking back four, I think.
Isn't Dummett going at the end of the season? Well, I'm telling you. I know he's meant to be. He is meant to be leaving, but with our current situation with centre backs, as much as people are putting up as an April Fool's joke this morning, I would not be shocked to see a Newcastle United official Twitter post next week saying Dummett has agreed to sign a year, extension. Yeah. Wouldn't shock me for 2 minutes because, well, I think it will happen. I think I'm saying I wonder. I actually think they will re-sign him. Personally.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah. And I think he's the new Shola, isn't he? Shola sort of kept getting a new contract.
Yeah.
And he was about 32 when he left. I think Dummett will be here till he's like 34, 35. We just can't seem to get a group of centre halves who can stay fit. Or 4 or 5 of them.
What do you reckon, Wayne? Do you reckon Dummett's staying?
I think as I said last night, I would be just dead straight up with him and say, look, this is the situation. We're not going to give you one now, but come the end of the season, if we've needed to use you at all, we're going to use you. And if we do, we'll give you a new contract at whatever. If in the meantime you can get fixed up somewhere else, we'll not stand in your way. Because as you say, we've got Murphy as well. As Dom said yesterday, the problem is that all our centre backs now, except Shea, are all left footers.
Yeah,
and it's a bit of a problem playing a right footed a left footer right centre back if Shea has to go off.
Big up to Barbara. We should have enough to beat Everton tomorrow night. I mean, we
don't get carried away though.
We had enough to beat them at Goodison Park, and Trippier had a night off.
But that was a night off. So is it a good game for Trips to come back in? Because he's obviously been remembering that. Because that was a shock show that night.
Yeah, it wasn't good. The only one that's missing out of their team that has any impact on their first team is Mikolenko, by the looks of it. Dele Alli is missing. I didn't even know he was still at Everton.
I think he's still technically. I think he's still
on their books, but I think is he not on loan at Turkey or something?
Yeah, I thought he was, but according to this, he's out until May. But and then there's Dan Juma. I suppose he's quite a decent player, but yeah, that's about it really. They've got quite a clean bill of health.
Well, you never know you are with what's his face, Calvert-Lewin, because he's another Wilson. He's a walking injury, isn't he?
But he's completely lost the plot. Like he used to be for a couple of years a really good striker, didn't he? And then,
especially under Ancelotti, Ancelotti had him playing phenomenal. Like he was almost like Harry Kane's understudy back with him. And he's he's weird. I know a lot of Everton fans get really frustrated with him because he sometimes just doesn't look bothered in games, and another one that goes kind of missing, or like you say, just never fit enough.
Yeah, well, he got 16.
You should put him on a 10 grand a year contract with £50,000 a goal.
Then he'd save a lot of money. The thing is, he got 16 Premier League goals a couple of seasons, 3 years ago. Then 21-22, he got 5 Premier League goals in 17. Last season, he got 2 in 17. And this season, he's played 24 games. He's only got 3 goals. So, diminishing returns.
Kenzie's made a good point there. We had enough to beat Luton, Forest and Bournemouth, and we didn't. Exactly, Kenzie, mate. I agree. Yeah. This is where, on paper, our running looks, smart and it looks okay, but you got to do the stuff on the pitch. And look, West Ham, it was a great. Obviously, it ended up being a ridiculous game, and we're all, I never going to moan about winning. But the problem was when we went 3-1 down, we were awful. We were terrible. We really were bad, and it was actually a bad tactical choice on behalf of David Moyes. And some luck. Miggy getting injured, I think, was luck. With Harvey Barnes coming on, because I don't think that substitution happens. So it's one of those where yes, obviously, of course, you're going to take a 4-3. You'd be stupid to not celebrate that. You're not a Newcastle fan, in my opinion, if you don't celebrate that. But there are still questions because the performance wasn't good. But look, 3 points, as we said, we'll take 3 points. If we win ugly, who cares?
Exactly.
So it is one of those.
And like we say, you get the points. We got to win Everton. That's 2 wins. All of a sudden, it builds the confidence, and there's no substitute for confidence in a team.
If you got,
and again, it comes back. Remember I said after the warm weather training that we went on the past 2 years, when we've come back, we've gone on phenomenal runs. And again, as I've said, we've got a relatively easy run in compared to all the teams around us. I'm still very, very hopeful this season.
Point saying that I've got my Fender hoodie on. Dom's rocking his Glasto t-shirt. When you need to go get your Iron Maiden denim jacket out.
I'll tell you what.
I haven't owned a denim jacket since about 1969.
I feel like it would suit you though.
And I haven't worn a pair of jeans for 30 years at least.
A pair of jeans, wow.
The big question is the chap with the dinosaur costume going on tomorrow night?
He'll be there.
The big inflatables.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be there.
Pickford always loses it at St. James's. He always loses his mind there. I'll never forget that comeback when Perez scored the third goal. Was it 3-2 in the end? Yeah. And I'll never forget that he was putting his tongue out and all that at us in the Gallagher. I remember being there, and then he got dropped for the game after.
Yeah.
In the return match because I can't remember who the manager was. Was it Ancelotti back then? Again, was it Ancelotti?
I think it was.
And he dropped him because he was like, "You got too caught up with the fans."
Yeah, he did. He got distracted.
Yeah, lost in the game. Really.
Yeah, looking at Manchester United's fixtures.
Last season when he's on his knees and he's back punching the ground.
This always adds a cherry to the victory, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you realise Manchester United are 5 points above us? And I was just looking at their fixtures. They've got Chelsea away, Liverpool at home, and Bournemouth away is not easy. And then they play us. So actually, we could reel them in over the next few games if we can go on a little run.
Not where Man United channel, but they are.
Not just Man United, Tottenham and Aston Villa.
I don't think we can reel them in.
They've got horrendous fixture lists.
But they're like 13 points clear. I think it's a bit too much.
Yeah, I agreed. But if we can stick a string of wins together, and there's no reason that we can't, in my opinion, we can get right up there. And then all of a sudden, all the Eddie out brigade will be looking for a rock to crawl under.
Well, I don't know about that. I think
Eddie Howe should be.
I think to some fans, Eddie Howe could win the league and they'd still want him out. I mean, it's a bit like the Ten Hag stuff with Man United. I mean, even though I don't think he's a good manager, anything that they do, they're always like, get him out, get him out, get him out.
They're very fickle, though, aren't they? Man United?
Oh, God. They're honestly one of the most annoying fan bases on the planet. We need a striker and a centre-back this summer. Hope we buy some really good ones that can replace Shah and eventually not just get Lloyd Kelly. Well,
Very difficult, though, because if you want to really get centre-back, you're going to be paying 50, let's say Branthwaite, he's going to be 50 or 60 million. So, and a striker, you might be paying 80 or 90 million now. So it's
ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not so easy to find anyone who's an upgrade.
Lewis is going to be at the game with you, Derek.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm just looking at Beer there. Yeah, right. Mighty Win only wears crotchless leather pants. How do you know?
That's why you never see his bottom half.
How can we let him on for a goal?
I cannot go along with that. Pooley kid.
I don't think he's that bad. He's just very slow off his line.
Dubravka is a fantastic goalkeeper.
I thought for the Antonio goal, he needed to commit. He either come out or don't. But he was half and half. He couldn't make his mind up. And
keepers are all going to make the odd mistake, but 99.9% of the time he's fine. His footwork is better than Pope's. That's for sure.
He's better distribution, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt at all.
Yeah.
Distribution, he's got that on Pope. But Pope definitely commands the box better, for definite.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Well, the back four certainly think so, because the results speak for themselves between Dubravka in and Pope in. But I think that's down to them more than it's down to Dubravka.
Thank you. I can't pronounce your name, my friend. I'm sorry. But thank you for joining us in Thailand. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Hope it's all good there.
Get in the WhatsApp chat, and we'll get you on the worldwide show.
Recognise this fella. What a show, folks! Big up Paul, DX, and Win. Chris. What a show! Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. That's kind.
I thought you were supposed to be at work, not with a family.
He's fooled us. He's fooled us all. I've got a question here. Do you think we can finish? Don't start win on this.
Oh God!
Can we
here
finish in
go.
a Champions League spot now if we go on a run? Go and win.
Of course we can. Yeah, if it goes to fifth, place, we can definitely catch Villa and Man U.
We can catch Man U. We're not going to catch Villa and Tottenham. Let's be
Well,
honest.
just
Win.
have
Come
a
on.
look have a look at the run-ins.
Well, even if they go on a terrible run and we win every game, we'd still need them to lose.
Yeah, okay.
5
So
games.
Villa finish third. Villa finish third. Spurs finish fourth. We can finish fifth, and fifth can get you possibly.
No,
depending
wait.
on how the English teams.
What about
do this.
Arsenal, What about Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City? That's your top 3.
100%.
Right, and then you've got
Villa,
Spurs,
Tottenham.
Villa, Man U.
That's 6.
Well, I'm saying we can finish higher than 2 of them.
Well, Man U perhaps. I just think it's
Yeah.
a bit of a tall. I mean, okay, let's go through the Villa fixtures. I've got a few tricky ones.
We've got them on the prediction thing that we did, man.
We've got Man City. They've got Man City away. Okay.
It's tough, yeah.
But then they've got Brentford at home.
Yeah.
You expect them to win that when you win.
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Arsenal away. Okay, that's a tough game.
Tough game, yeah.
Bournemouth at home. I think they would win that.
Probably win.
Chelsea at home.
Probably win.
Brighton away. That's a tricky little number.
Probably win that.
Aston Villa. Liverpool at home.
You see, this astounds me. You're saying probably win that, probably win that. Yet, when we were looking at Newcastle's fixtures, it's win. But hang on, though, we cannot possibly win 7.
I said we win all of them. Me, I did.
No, we're saying they'll probably lose at Arsenal and at Man City.
Yeah,
and they've got Liverpool at home and Brighton away. So there's 4 games there where I can see them losing.
Yeah,
but I don't think even that's enough. I think aren't they 13 ahead?
Right. Okay. Now look at Tottenham.
Oh, Tottenham.
Tottenham have got West Ham away.
Yeah.
Forest at home. Us away. Man City at home. Arsenal at home. Liverpool away.
Liverpool win that.
Then they've got Burnley at home and Sheffield away.
Beat them.
Win those, yeah.
But that's 5 games there they could easily lose. And by the way, they've already lost one that we said they would win because Fulham beat them 3-0 and we'd said that they would beat Fulham.
But then it relies on us winning every game, and I just don't know if we're that consistent.
Of course it does, yeah.
We're so...
I mean, the 2 6-pointers are Old Trafford and Spurs at home.
Yeah. And the other thing is bloody injuries.
I think Brighton will be out of it by then, so they'll have their flip-flops on when the...
Yeah, and I think... Yeah, so they're 16 points ahead of us, Aston Villa. 16. I can't see us pulling that back in. 7 games.
It'd be one of the biggest, like...
It'd be a miracle.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah.
Maybe they get a points deduction win, maybe.
Yeah.
No need for points deductions. Oh, ye of little faith.
Dubravka was a good goalkeeper. He isn't anymore. Paper's way better. Dub should have saved 2 of the goals of the 3 on Saturday. There you go. Win. Trolls is there, telling you.
Well, listen, I'm like Barbara. I would prefer Pope to Dubs. Simply because the back 4 trust him.
What do we make of... again, we're not a West Ham channel, but what did we make of Calvin Phillips?
Hopefully we can get a bid in there this summer.
Hey, I think we're dodged. Well, I'm saying I think we dodged a bullet because I would have had him in a heartbeat before he went to West Ham. And I don't know what's going on there because he just doesn't look like a player. Never mind the same player.
This is what happens to a lot of players that go to Man City or Chelsea, where they don't play. Their confidence is in the toilet, and then they end up kind of like Sean Wright Phillips. It happened to him a few years ago. He went to Chelsea and he couldn't get a game, and then he was never the same player. So I think, he just looks a shadow of what he was at Leeds.
He does. I mean, at Leeds, he was brilliant. Well, Man
Solid.
City don't sign anybody unless you're
Yeah.
pretty damn good. So, he was definitely a player. And he was playing out of his skin for England as well, by the way. I thought he was better than Rice in the last tournament.
And it's a shame, isn't it? It's just it's like Don was saying, it's just that when these big clubs kind of just eat up your player, this is where FFP gets you, this is where FFP gets you, because Man City can afford to buy these big players and not play them and just do nothing with them. And this is a problem with FFP, that it forces these teams into doing this stuff, because they're like, well, we can't buy another player and build on Calvin Phillips because FFP will deduct us points or whatever. So we're going to have to sell him to Man City to get players in. And then he goes to Man City, does nothing. West Ham think, well, we need a player, and then he goes in, and it just shows his lack of confidence, lack of belief, because he's playing like a player that's lost. And again, like as some people are saying about his behaviour after the game,
that was terrible.
That comes with being having no confidence, As Lewis saying, he's an idiot.
I think it comes with frustration as well, of course, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But there's no excuse for it, none at all.
No.
I mean,
I don't know if everybody in the chat's aware about he was getting some abuse off the West Ham fans when he was getting on the coach outside St James's Park, and he gave them the finger, which somebody, Adam P, actually.
Our own Adam P.
Our very own Adam P. Caught on camera. So it's gone viral, and now he's not flavour of the month at all.
No.
Down in the East End.
Yeah, I mean, is it untenable for him now? Has he got time to turn it around?
Well, I think the last sort of thing I can remember of similar ilk, similar vein was what they call the
Nicky Butt?
Arsenal's captain Xhaka, Grant Xhaka.
Yeah.
He got subbed off at the Etihad, and he gave the supporters gave them the finger, and they thought that was the absolute end for him. And look what he came back and did last season.
Yeah,
he had a tremendous season last season with him and Odegaard were running the show.
So we've got some opinions on goalkeepers and stuff here. So. Need new keeper in the summer. Gillespie will be released probably. Karius is probably going to go. Point Mag saying, will they go for Gallagher? He's a great keeper. He really is.
I don't think we'd get him. I
agree. They'd be mad to let him go, to be fair.
Really good.
Every club needs two keepers. I don't care what anybody says. We've always been blessed over the years, We've always had a couple of good keepers.
We're very lucky with Steve Harper.
Harper for all those years. It's kind of understudied a variety of keepers.
Seamus.
Starting off with Cernacek and giving a course. Who followed Given again? Or Krul.
Krul.
And all the time we had Harper. But I thought at the same time as Chelsea had what they call the Belgian and the Czech, Peter Cech.
Peter Cech, yeah.
And the Belgian who went to where did he go? Courtois, yeah. They had them, and they said they've got the best two keepers in the league. And at the time, we had Given and Harper, and I said, I beg to differ. We've got the best two keepers.
I think Harper was amazing because he could have gone to other clubs, could have probably played for England, but he stayed loyal, didn't he? He was a Newcastle fan.
Well, you're saying he stayed loyal. I don't think I'm talking out of turn when I'll not mention the figures, but he was offered loads of moves, but nobody could come anywhere near the wages that he was getting here.
Oh, really?
At the time. Yeah, so he just you know, he's stuck here, and the club. I was happy for the club to pay him as well, because he was a fantastic understudy.
Yeah.
Never let us down.
Fox is saying we should be looking to buying a complete upgrade on everybody. So someone better than Pope, someone better than Dubravka, then you have that sort of.
Well, yeah, I agree with that, but the problem with FFP is that you've got to decide where you're going to spend
priorities.
I just don't think spending money on a goal, for the sake of argument, for less than 50,000, say, you're not going to get a better keeper than Dubravka. You might get a younger keeper, but you're not going to get a better keeper. I don't think you're going to buy a good keeper for less than 50 million.
Yeah, I think it's really hard now, isn't it? The market's really, unless you get some young goalkeeper from the lower leagues who's looking good.
Yeah.
But if you sold Dubravka, what would you get? He's 35, 6 million,
you
5
get
million?
Coppers.
10? Would you get 10 at a push?
I don't even think you'd get that.
I think you're struggling to get 10.
So
that's probably the end of
that's the point I'm making. You aren't going to get an equivalent keeper to Dubravka for 10 million.
No.
Or for, whatever you said. So you just keep him. He's costing you wages, and that's it.
We need we need a striker.
Ramsdale?
No.
Because that's been the big.
Only because, again, the fee would be so astronomical, because they paid about 30 million from 2 years ago. So I think we'd be looking at 40 million, and we can't really justify that on a goalkeeper. And is he much better than Pope?
I don't think he's any better than Pope.
Yeah, he's about maybe the same level, but with different qualities.
Yeah.
But I like the idea, but I just don't think it could happen.
It's mainly just because he's out of favour, isn't it? That's the thing. It's just kind of he'd be looking for a club, I guess, but he'd probably end up somewhere like a blooming Chelsea or something.
I mean, he's not the best self-advertisement, is he? When he says, "I find it difficult to concentrate for 90 minutes."
Yeah,
not a good selling point for.
Not a great trait for a goalkeeper. Reminds me of Titus Bramble.
Not a great tagline.
Yeah, I mean, points made a good point.
I can't concentrate for 90 minutes.
Good point here that great goalkeepers, try again, Paul. Great goalkeepers are great investments. Yeah, they're rarely injured in the winning games. Yeah, 50 million for Kelleher would be good business. I mean, it might be, but again, you're putting your pretty much your summer window on one player.
Yeah. And when you think about it, we've never spent big money on a goalkeeper. Like Shay Given came on a tribunal. He was out of contract. Steve Harper youth team, Tim Krul youth team. Hislop, it didn't cost that much, 1.5 mil. And Cernicek was a cheap signing from abroad. So and now Pope was 10 million, was he? Which is a really good signing. And Dubravka cost us 4 million. So we've never been a club that's gone big on that kind of stuff. Chelsea do, but Newcastle don't.
Yeah, as I say, definitely not on my list of priorities right now, at all. Keep away. Spend one money where we need it.
Yeah.
But Foxy, if there's can you name some goalkeepers for 20 million?
Yeah, 20 million.
Foxy,
I can't think of anyone.
As long as you're on. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Here we go. Dubravka is finished.
Oof.
He let the fastest international goal on record last week. Look how many he's let in since Pope's been out. He's finished. We'll go nowhere with him in goal.
As I've said a million times, the number of goals that Dubravka is shipping has got nothing to do with Dubravka's talent. You check them all and tell me how many of them are his fault, as opposed to the poxy midfield in front of the defence and defensive mistakes as well. I mean, we're just talking about Trips' 2 blunders against Everton and then 1 against Chelsea the week later. There's nothing Dubravka can do about that.
Does anyone think that Mbubu from Brentford would be a good cheap alternative striker?
Well, I like him.
I do like him.
He's good in Brentford. Yeah, he's.
But I don't. How much cheaper would he be?
Why not Tony? Why don't we just go for Tony?
Would you really want him back though?
I'd love him back
after everything.
I think we are. Well, him and Sandro could go to the casino together.
Yeah.
Where are we? Transfer.
What do you make of James Trafford?
Too. I think
I
he's
don't
not
rate
ready.
him.
Not ready. Yeah, he's too small.
Somebody
Gets bullied.
Somebody we had on the
Talented, but not. He
on
needs
the
to fill
show
out.
was rated Trafford, and I said, that's a sure.
Yeah,
Bueno.
I'm not convinced.
Dubravka's better than Pope. Said it all along. Amrit says.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
Big call there. Is that you, Win? Is that your alternative account?
What?
Yes.
No, he's definitely not.
Out the door when.
Trolls. No, that's Trolls. Good old Trolls.
No, I got the next one.
We do occasionally agree about something, but not that often.
Went out the door when things seemed dire and came running back when it didn't. Still haven't forgiven him. Would prefer Carrius for the rest of the season. This is the one I think's you.
Where am I?
Dubravka's better than Pope. Said it all along. Amrit says. It's on the screen.
He is a pal of mine, Amrit.
Yeah. Dubravka doesn't come out though. He gets rooted to the spot, says Kenzie.
Yeah, that's his biggest weakness.
This is total folklore. Dubravka doesn't come out. I'll tell you, watch any game, and you tell me that Pope comes out more than Dubravka does. I'm sick of saying. I watch all our games 3 and 4 times right through, and it's a total fallacy that people are propagating about Dubravka being rooted to his line. It's utter nonsense.
Where was the Antonio goal?
He was outside his box 4 times on Saturday.
Tool says that Dubravka's at fault for quite a lot of the goals. Over 35 goals that can't be on defence only.
Yeah, come on.
The midfield as well. The teams are just running through like knives through butter.
What about the end of the game where Souček chested the ball wide? That was the Dubravka fault, wasn't it? He totally misread the flight. We got away with it. It wasn't a goal, but it's an open goal.
He
put him off. He shouted as he's about to chest it.
Yeah, Dubravka was definitely at fault for 1 goal on Saturday, if not all 3.
You went.
No, not the Bowen goal. He wasn't at fault.
They're all piling up on you here, Win. They're all piling up on you here.
Oh well, I can see it.
Has anyone looked at how do you say that? Dramovic at Augsburg?
I don't know him. Let's have a look. We'll do a quick search while you're reading the comments.
Remember what Debs did before with Bruce? He kept us in the league. Should have got relegated.
Player of the season 2 years ago.
Yeah, no, he is a very good shot stopper, and he isn't a bad goalkeeper, but he's not top notch.
Look at Edison and Allison, both look like bargains given their transfer fees. Maybe it still costs like 70-odd million, 80-odd million. I mean, it's not pennies, but they are great goalkeepers. They're not gonna, obviously not gonna go against you there. But I don't think we can't justify spending 70 million on a goalkeeper. I mean, we just won't. Dubs comes up, backs off too often, seen it too many times. Chris is enjoying you getting annoyed.
You've missed Kenzie out, man.
So Demirovic, he doesn't have a great record.
He doesn't have a great record, no.
No, not really. He's done okay this season.
Kenzie XII, Kenzie G, is it? Is he from China? I don't know. Folklore, Winman, Dubravka flaps more than your false teeth.
Good lad. Chris is enjoying it. You pissed off your old man. Well done. Dubs' distribution lets him down. I mean,
come on, man. Dubs' distribution is 10 times better than Pope's.
Yeah, it's better than Pope's. But
that's Mason as well. Mason, I'm surprised at you, man.
The thing you've got to admire about Win is he's very loyal to his players, like Dan Burn, Sean Longstaff, and Dubravka. He'll never
Only
throw them
because
under
the
bus.
merit. You'll never ever beat Dan Burn. He's from Glasgow.
Can't help it.
Ravka, and we've got the whole set.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We needed a Ravka song for that as well then, and then we can film that and put that up.
I'll come up with something.
Yeah, we'll do it for the match reaction maybe. Felix and the clanger.
After he's made 3 worldies and a penalty save.
3 worldies, right? Okay.
He does have games now and again where he is absolutely like Blackburn in the cup, where he's
Liverpool away this season.
Yeah.
Liverpool away this season. They would have won by 10.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, he was.
Henty says he might be Chinese or Roman. Good lad. Better than Pope doesn't mean good, to be fair. Okay, well, yeah.
I don't think you can have a go at Pope. He's been a great goalkeeper for us.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. We struck when we needed to with Burnley. They go down, and he was the highlight of that team.
Well, we were being linked with that Man United goalkeeper went to Forest. What's his name?
Oh God, yeah, and he was.
And then suddenly we flipped and got Pope. So I think another bullet dodged, and another bullet dodge was Ekitike. He's done nothing in Germany this season. So we've had a bit of luck here and there with players we haven't managed to get.
And if you ask Villa fans, we've avoided a bullet with Diaby. According to them, they get annoyed with him.
Yeah, he scored yesterday, but yeah, he's very hit and miss, isn't he? He's not Harvey Barnes for me anyway.
Kenneth, mate, you're struggling with my pronunciations here, buddy. Well, yeah. Do we know anything about these guys?
Well, Mamadashvili, we keep getting linked with, don't we? He's like this young, supposed to be a great Georgian goalkeeper.
Too much money, man. Too much money.
But I don't know Jorgensen really, Philip Jorgensen. So it's hard to say. But they both playing La Liga.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, and was it Jorgensen that was banging them in for the youth squad, and everyone was begging him?
Oh, the Danish, the Danish.
Yeah. And everyone was just like, he's going to save Newcastle. He's going to.
Yeah. And now he's playing in the Danish.
Right, I've finally got the steam power working on this computer of mine.
Oh, nice.
Brian and Bremo from Brentford, transfer marks valuing with 38 million.
Oh.
And his contract doesn't expire, should I say, until June 30th, 2026. So he's got 2.5.
2 years.
Well, 2 and a bit years left on his contract. So you're not going to get him.
Not going to pinch him. Not going to penny pinch.
Mm.
No.
But the thing is, Tony's contract finishes next year, and he's now being linked with West Ham. So it sounds like a lot of the big boys are possibly distancing themselves.
Who's that?
Ivan Toney, like he's being linked with West Ham.
Was that not a joke?
That was yesterday, not today.
Or was it yesterday? Okay.
Yeah.
Chelsea and Arsenal are both after Tony. I've heard he's Arsenal's number 1 target. So
yeah, I mean, no offense to West Ham.
I mean, I can see West Ham having some money to spend.
It says West Ham are in pole position. All the reports are saying.
Right.
But I mean, no offense to him. No offense to West Ham, but is that not just a sideways move from Brentford? No offense, I'm not trying to say
him. Yeah, well, just a slightly better club, but
yeah.
I mean, I suppose maybe they would take a lower fee because they don't want to lose him on a free, do they? So
no, God no.
Maybe they'll take 40 million or something.
I'd have swapped Miggy with Diaby.
Yeah,
I would get more out of him. I mean, who knows under how? I mean, that's the thing. It could be tactics. It could be, whatever.
But again, Diaby was 45 million. It's like if money was no object, we would probably go out and buy all these players. But yeah,
Ivan Toney, his contract June the 30th, 2025. So he's got just over a year left on his.
Yeah. What's his value on the transfer market?
Can't say you're getting it. It's got 50 million on here, which is nonsense, of course. Not euros.
With the year left, you never know.
Tony is lovely to watch, but infuriating to listen to. Well, yeah. I mean, he talks about his own club very badly. He doesn't talk very highly of Brentford, which is a frustrating characteristic for me. The club that's paying your wages, and you talk about them like that as if they're nothing.
They stuck by him as well.
Which comments were these then, Paul? Because I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I'm going back historically. He's talked very negatively about Brentford, saying that I play for a small club, and he's very kind of I should be playing for a bigger club, and just stupid comments really that as a fan would piss me off.
Hadn't heard any of that. I know the Brentford fans love him. But,
Tell you what, I'm looking at the Golden Boot race, and it's quite tight this season, isn't it? Because Erling's got 18, but then you've got Isak on 14, Son 15, Bowen 15. There's a lot of players.
A lot of people up for it, yeah.
Isak could get the Golden Boot if he goes on a bit of a run here.
Yeah.
But he's not a centre forward.
No, he's a centre back.
Well, nor was Erling Haaland yesterday. I mean, that must have been, again, we're on Newcastle channel, but that was probably one of the worst games I've watched. The Arsenal City game.
Arsenal City.
I
it's absolutely dire.
Really?
It was poor.
Oh my god, it was really poor.
He's not looked quite the same, has he, since he came back?
Arsenal kind of did a low block on City, and it just kind of worked.
So were they both scared of losing them? Were they both kind
of it was one of those games. It was just one of those typical, like they're too scared to, City had a lot of the ball, didn't really do anything with it. Arsenal probably had the best chance of the game with, I think it was Trossard who had a decent chance.
Oh, right.
But it was poor. It was really poor. The Arsenal fans are saying now they're going to win the league now after that point. So,
yeah, well, good luck with that.
It was a good point for them.
If they do, by the way, they'll prove that you can win the league without the centre forward.
Yeah, recently Tony said he's hoping to be at a bigger club. So, some of his comments are a bit stupid when it comes to, if you're trying to endear yourself to a club, he's not the man who, he didn't like being at Newcastle either. So it's one of those things that.
Did he not like being at Newcastle? I thought we bombed him out.
Yeah, it was kind of a mutual sort of agreement there. I know Rafa wasn't a big fan. His attitude stank.
But Rafa wasn't a big fan of Mitrovic either, was he?
No.
Doesn't seem to like big strikers.
People forget the stuff that Mitrovic would do, which would, bored my blood as well. We're 3-0 up against West Ham. I'll never forget it. And he gets himself sent off. Needless. Stupidity from him there. Like dumb stuff it did annoy me. He was great for us, but there were times when Mitrovic would warrant the how Rafa said that you need to get out.
I thought he flattered to deceive for us, to be honest. I liked him. I really liked him, but I thought he could have been better than he was.
He didn't quite blossom until he went to Fulham, did he?
That's right. He turned into a much better player at Fulham than he ever showed for us.
But he's a Newcastle fan.
Oh, he is. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's still.
Did we ever get him back?
Oh, he loves a tune. He still loves a tune.
Yeah.
Right, guys, we're getting just over an hour. We're back at 10 p.m. tonight, so I don't want to keep these guys too long. I want them to have a nice day. So we will be back at 10 p.m. English time for the match preview for the Everton game later on tonight. So please come along for that. I appreciate you coming today. I've seen the numbers. They've been very, very good. So thank you so much, everybody.
Jordan have had a press conference.
Yeah, what's happened with that?
Well, I think they did the embargoed one where they do two at the same time. I think. I'm not saying that's definite, but that's what I think's happened. But yeah, so as usual, everyone, smash those likes or unlikes, whatever, gets us traction no matter what. Comments also muchly appreciated and all that. Check out the reaction to the 4-3 that's been out there and it's doing really well. Thank you for your support with that. We'll see you at 10 o'clock later on today. And then obviously we'll get into the Everton game a bit more there. And all the best for the rest of today. And I'll leave you with a little song because we like to end on a high.
He'll beat them on the ground, he'll beat them in the air. Oh, Fabian Share.